Michelle. You guys hear the whole, I'm like, my brain is like, right. Also defining it because a lot of my non-blood, you know, and to me, blood, water, all liquids.
I was going to go to that next. I was going to non-blood.
Are stemming from my chosen friendship, relationship, because sisterhood to me is a relationship. Yes. I'm very deeply rooted in commitment, loyalty, trust, faith. You know, I'm a real stickler on support and leadership. You know, sisterhood to me is support. Yes. You know what I mean? On so many different dimensions, as an individual, as a person, as an entrepreneur, as a company. You know, sometimes I'm Michelle Tucker, sometimes I'm CEO, first class consultant. Right. But that support, you know, from your sisters is that camaraderie, that commitment, that smile, that trust, that faith. You know what I mean? That I think we all seek, especially, like I say, I keep touching on Arizona because I've been here since 1987. Right. You know, I'm just so excited about just the platform and then the opportunity to be able to create these type of environments that are so conducive for me as a woman. Like I want to have my girl time, and sometimes I want to get away from the husband, get away from the kids, and just be with my sisters and be with my girls, and be able to have that outlet. Yeah, be able to have that outlet. So to me, it is about a relationship. It is about trust. It is about commitment. It is about loyalty. It's about belief. And when we believe, I mean, that energy right there, it empowers us to be able to go out here and be able to face anybody, husbands, friends, business, jobs, the man, the wife, whoever. You know what I'm saying? To be able to feel strong about that, and I get that energy and that support from my sisters. So to me, it's all of those things, and then just really about that foundation for a strong relationship that's unbreakable.
Yeah, I agree. You guys touched on it, and I was going to go a little bit there. For me, sisterhood it's a relationship to me, and a lot of times it is because you choose that sisterhood. You know your sisters, your families, your uncles, your aunts. That's blood. You can't. But if you actually choose somebody to be your sister, your friend, that sisterhood, that means a lot. Yes. So it is. It's deep to me. So if I chose you, I went out on a limb, and I know I wear my heart on my sleeve. Right. So if I'm in, I'm in with you. I got you from here to there, you know, from A to Z. So it is. It's very nurturing. It is, like you said, really spiritual sometimes, because sometimes your friend, a lot of times, unfortunately, I know I've been through divorce before. So my friends that I was married and went to that first marriage and divorce, we're still friends. So that friend can still be there through marriages, through through all the battles, and still have your back. So I do believe it's a certain kind of relationship, and it's something that we need as women, I believe, because we're so nurturing. Yes. We need, I think sisterhood is just vital. It's just what we need. And I know we can all talk about what we've been hurt and that woman and that cattiness. And we swearing off girlfriends forever. But in the back of our mind, we know we would still yearn for that. That's something that we yearn for. So sometimes when I hear women say, oh, I'm done with women, I know that. I probably, because I've said it before myself. But I didn't mean that. The yearning of not having that, it's a loneliness. Even if you got a great marriage, kids and everything, if you still don't have some kind of sisterhood, I think it's a loneliness. It is. You guys agree with that?
I would agree with that. I think that also, I was thinking about it when I was thinking about what you did, and what you did, and what you did, and even what myself do. And I was thinking that definitely it's an integrity of sorts too, because your sisterhood is where you go to for assistance with your dreams, with your goals. You know what I mean? I'm trusting you with my dream. You know what I mean? If you're working with women and your dream, your goal, what you getting up for every day is to help these women make it transition into a better life, then you should be able to go to your sisterhood and, you know, and they be like, hey, look, I have a company they can come work for. Right. Okay, look, I have some clothes for them, because they know that this sister in their sisterhood, this is her dream. You know, let me help her. You know what I mean? Because this is what drives her. You know what I mean? And that's what I think it's about too.
And that's where that investment comes.
That
in,
investment.
Right? And so, you know, Michelle is saying to me, you know, this is what I'm doing now. I have a whole network I should be able to tap into.
Right. So somebody,
I get that. And
Right.
the same thing with Real Woman, and the same thing with your book. You know, your book could be study materials for one of our classes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so and I've approached you with some of the tapings that you're doing. Let's talk about how we can
Can
use
help
that to, you know, to reinforce the message we're delivering and empower the women to be better.
Right.
So it's an investment that you make in your sisterhood continuously, and in return they invest in you. And so that's where that mutual
Right.
level of integrity.
And that's true. When we talked about different things, and just like me working with the women at House of Miracles,
Yes.
the self-esteem and self-worth, because it's just not necessarily women that are in recovery or out of the prison system, that kind of the realm of my work that we do. It's all women.
It's
Women
all
that maybe never had a drink in their life, never went to jail, never,
Right.
whatever it is. Right, but broken in a different way that you think that, sometimes it's like, don't let the stilettos fool you. It's still things that are going on.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of it, we touched on it on the last taping, about the self-esteem or self-worth, and like in today, the hating, it's something that stems because, I don't know, and I'll let you guys kind of touch on what you think, because sometimes I have known people where, we just seemed like we just didn't get along, and after we knew each other, we couldn't, hey girl, we couldn't, and it's like, well, how did we,
What's going
what
on?
was it that we were kind of standoffish with each other, but now we love to be around each other, you know what I'm saying? So touch on that. I know you've been in the network, you've been around, so.
I think it's
That's that girl.
I think it is
It's a gray area.
I just think people, sometimes, like you said, they superficial. They go by what they hear from a third party. They don't get a chance to know you for themselves. All the gossip, the he shade, like you said, sometimes you're hidden behind a Facebook or a Twitter, and then you just have your own preconceived notions of who you think that person is.
Right.
And until you get an opportunity to get up close and personal, you really don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because people, like you said, they dealing with baggage. They've been hurt. They're afraid. They just don't know. So it's like they have that wall up. Instead of just breaking through that wall and have an opportunity to get a chance to know who you are, talk to you, have a conversation.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then formulate your opinion.
Yeah.
But like you said, I think sometimes people get caught up in the rigmarole
Right.
of third party. And I know personally, I've been a victim of that.
Yes.
That people go by what somebody else say. You don't get a chance to know for yourself, see for yourself, to touch it for yourself. And then when they get a chance to meet me or know me, they're like, wow, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? But
Where
I
you
can't
been,
control
right?
and you can't control others, but if you give me an opportunity to have a intellectual conversation or just have some downtime, I'm a fun girl.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm good. You know what I
Right.
mean? I'm like, okay. And I've been on the same intro where it's like, I didn't know, or you just go by looking for, judging a book by its cover. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's to me what I think, a lot of that negative energy can stem from. But I'm always, like you said, open-minded. I done been hurt, dealt with from the bottom to the top,
Right.
but I never gave up on people.
Right.
I never give up. I'm like, I'm just not going to deal with that person, but I'm
Right.
not going to judge everybody because of what that one person does, because everybody different.
And I'm going to come to you in just a second. I want to touch on that real quick because we touched on that in the other taping. When you listen to gossip sometimes, so say for instance, you weren't here yet. And Michelle this, Michelle this. Well, as soon as Michelle comes, you looking at her like this. You're not going to even give her a chance. You're not giving her a chance because I've already said A through Z about it and not giving her a chance. So I know as women, we really got to be careful not to be, so catty like that because we're blocking our own blessings or blocking somebody else's blessing and doing that, and just be real. Don't be so, like you say, so superficial, and give each of us a chance because like you said, we all have baggage, but also you touched on was really good. If someone acts a certain way, we don't have to act like they act.
Right.
So maybe if they continue saying, well darn, every time I'm kind of mean to Audrey, I'm kind of stand up, but Audrey still just be cool with me, maybe then they'll say, well maybe I should do that. Right, maybe it's me. What you think about some of that?
Well, I think it's true, and I think what happens is, again, people portray themselves as what they think other people want them to be, and so they haven't quite found themselves yet. So they're searching, right? So there's no malice or intent about them in some cases, right?
Absolutely.
It's just that they're learning. They're not there yet.
Sure.
So that's one piece of it. I think there's a lot of vulnerability right now in today with women in general because, Arizona doesn't have a strong African American population. I mean, I'm a native. I've been here all my life. So I've seen it come from this to this, right? And so it's
And I'm
almost
feeling,
like,
let me just hold that thought 1 minute, because that could be a whole nother subject, really, on African American sisterhood, and then just a sisterhood of women, because
Well,
we know real women is about all women.
Right, it
but
is.
there is something, I'm not going to
Yes,
go, that's another
yes.
show,
yes, it is.
with African
Because that's
American.
where I was going.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I've seen it grow from, from 5 black women
Okay.
to 15 black women.
Uh-huh.
And these 15 black women are all fighting for the same sisterhood, business. All, and I shouldn't say fighting for it, but
But
we're
I know
all
what you're
trying
saying.
to get connected to the same
Yeah.
population, right? And so we don't operate with integrity.
Right.
We don't think it's enough for everybody.
Right, crabs in the bucket.
So because of that, we put ourselves in positions where we have to make a quick judgment, a quick assessment, when we shouldn't have to do that. And we don't, even though we may be looking at the same customer base, or the same networking
Sure,
base, or the same client base.
Mm-hmm.
But that does not mean there's not enough for all of us, right? So I think when we look and make these preconceived assessments of people, we're not open-minded enough to say, you know what, let me get to know her. Because we do listen to third parties.
We do.
We do listen to third parties. We see things on TV and then we transform that into our
Right.
everyday life, right?
Because reality TV
I
is...
seen the girl that looked like Michelle, and I'm telling you,
I thought I heard her say that same thing.
she looks just like that. So I'm gonna throw her in that bucket, right? So we just got a lot of growing up to do, and we have to be patient with one another. But we also have to make some decisions around when we determine that's not the person, she ain't ready yet, she's not ready yet. So let her go off and grow up, and then hopefully she'll come back.
That's what we're talking about.
So it's a few things.
And me myself too, this is what I think too. I think that a lot of times that what happens is that, let me see, how can I put that in a delicate
Just be
way?
real. This is real.
Be real.
Be like, eat, cut,
Okay.
do it over real.
This is what I personally run into, and I don't mean this to put myself on any type of pedestal at all, because I am who I am, and I'm proud of who I am. And and I am powerful, and I do make an impact when I enter into somewhere. That is what I do. And I notice that a lot of times I'll walk into places, with some of my sisterhooders, or sisters, just say sisters, maybe potential sisterhooders. But I'll walk into somewhere and I have a great outlook about anywhere I'm going. I'm coming in and I feel as though they're intimidated. I think a lot of times and I have felt intimidated myself when I have talked to certain women. I have felt intimidated, and that's good though. That's the difference. For me, it's good.
How you use
I
it.
want to be intimidated.
How you use that.
I want to be intimidated by one of my sisters. Even when you yourself walked in, when I heard what you said, I was intimidated by that in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, look at what she's doing with these women. This is what I want to do. You know what I mean? So I was intimidated in a good way.
Right.
Okay. So a lot of times though, I find that I get, instead of the intimidation in a good way, it's like,
Right.
here she go.
Have you ever asked anyone, have you ever just really called somebody out, in a sense, calling on the carpet to say, well, it seemed like I put myself out to you and I didn't get anything back? Or have you ever?
Actually, I do it all the time because I'm a very bold person.
That's what I'm gonna say. Have we ever thought about, okay, I don't know whether we pull them aside or send them a message or email them?
No, I actually face to face, like I'm sitting down with you.
Okay.
I even was actually on a talk show with a mutual friend of ours at one time, a mutual business associate of ours. And what happened was, they told me a preconceived concept of how they wanted me to approach their show. They didn't want me to tell who I really, really was. They wanted me to kind of sugarcoat everything and blah, blah, blah. And I thought to I was kind of new into the, little networking thing, but still I'm myself.
Uh-huh.
So I probably should have pre-warned them that I didn't agree with that. But instead,
That's it.